Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about Amazon FBA, private labeling, how to private label a product on Amazon, how to make a killing for beginners. A lot of people ask me how to sell on Amazon for beginners. I made this video for you guys to break it down simple as possible, how to sell in a private label product on Amazon. It's pretty straightforward. I'm showing you guys exactly how to do the product research stage, how I would do it. Private labeling is the best way to make a killing on this website. That's my personal opinion. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it on Amazon. So let's get straight to it. There's many ways of making money online off of Amazon. So there's private labeling, there's retail arbitrage, which if you don't know what that is, that's basically where you're just finding a price gap and you're taking advantage of that, whether that's through, doing it through the buy box, which is not my favorite way of making money online. The reason why is because when you're competing against another competitor, it's just so much harder to make a sale because when somebody's actually bought in on your images and your title, they'll click on it and then you have to compete with 10 other people at that point. Private labeling is way different. So when you private label a product, basically, you have a listing. If somebody is wanting that product, all they do is click on your listing, they buy it. There's no chance of having you to compete with other people. It's just your product, right? So that's where private labeling comes in. This is where you make your own listing that no other people can come onto. There are people that can steal your listing or jump onto it called hijackers, which are not the best. They ruin life. They suck. So, but I'll get into that in another video. But let's just gonna get you guys running and smoothly understanding how this whole thing works. So every time you sell a product through FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, right? There's fees. So you get charged by the shipping itself, how much the product weighs. Amazon obviously wants to make money off of your product because you're selling on their platform. We're taking advantage of millions of customers that they have that are ready, loyal buyers that want to, if they want to buy a product, they can just click that one click purchase and it's done. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. You get fee for every product. I'd say the reason why I tell you people that watch my videos, I tell you guys to start with a higher price product because when you're selling a product that's under $10, you're gonna be losing 30 to 40% of your profit straight from Amazon FBA fees, and that's just not fun. So you can easily sell a product for $20, $25, and the fee will maybe be like $7 per unit, but you're making $15 profit, right? It's way more just efficient. It's way more bang for your buck, and it's just smarter. It's just way smarter. So don't sell any kind of products that are for $10 or under. I see a lot of people doing it, and they're just they're making cents every time they sell a product, which is not fun. Let's show you guys a private label example. If you've never seen one before, let's go to Amazon, and it's pretty straightforward. So as you can see, we can just type in any kind of broad keyword. Let's just type in toothbrush or something like that, and I'm sure there'll be a private label toothbrush. So these are big competitors. We've all heard of Oral-B, right? Process. This seems like a private label product. So as you can see, there's no other people selling on his listing. It's just him, and this is his own product. So he bought a generic product from China, and then he just put his own logo, his brand on it, and that's pretty much it. He didn't even put his brand. Actually, yeah, he did. He had a little packaging design, which is pretty nice. I recommend you guys do that as well in my further videos, but we'll get to that later. That's just a tip to make more sales. So is it easy? Is it long term? I'd say out of all the ways to make money online, I've pretty much dabbled with everything. So I'm 20 years old, and since I was like maybe 12, I was trying to research how to make money online from my computer. I was obsessed with video games. I did not want to get out of the house, essentially. I was just lazy, and I wanted to find every possible way. I researched every single day. So there's affiliate marketing, that's great, but you need to have traffic. You need to have some kind of established website, or you got to bother people on forums and make blogs and then try to trick somebody to buy your product. I don't like doing that. And the great thing about Amazon though is that people are coming for products that they want, right? You're just making it a product that it's yours instead of somebody else's. So it's pretty much straightforward. You're helping people buy products that they want. It's really fun to me to make a really great listing and see people appreciate my listing and buy my product. It's just the best feeling in the world because in a day I'll probably change my listing 1,000 times, and I can see my competitors are not even doing that. They'll have half-assed lazy listings, and then they wonder why they're tanking in sales every month. It's a satisfying thing to me. So in terms of being easy, it's probably the easiest way of making money online in my opinion as of right now, except for affiliate marketing, but that requires having some kind of following or traffic or a website, which I just don't bother to do because that costs money, and I don't know. I'm just not really interested in that. So as soon as I came across Amazon FBA, I was hooked from the start, and yeah. Long term, oh, this is probably the most sustainable, way of making money I could possibly think of. The reason why is because all it takes is you build one good product with a brand name on it, and you've made a brand. Like, it's that simple. All you have to do is just make a product, brand the fuck out of it, sell a lot of units, and then you have established a traffic. You've established a traffic source, then you just make another product line under that brand. You have to make sure that everything is relative and nothing's like, too, like if you're selling, for example, a toothbrush, you don't want to be selling like shoes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be selling two completely different products in one brand. You want to have something that's similar. So if you're selling, let's say drink floats, you want to be selling like another kind of raft that you would put in the pool. They want to be connected in some sort of way. That's what I'm trying to say. So just make sure you do that. So the step one of product research. So product research is the most important part of this entire process, right? This is where you actually make the magic happen. This is where you find the product. If it's demandable, you go on with your life and you're happy and you're successful and you make money. If you find a bad product, you go down the spiral hill and you're like, you've wasted this money, you wasted this commitment, you wasted this time, and you might make your money back, but it's still a lot of commitment for just making your money back, right? So I've had this happen, to multiple products of mine. I want you guys to understand that you will fail along the way. That's how life goes, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a legit way to make an online business. So you need to understand that. You don't look at it as a way to make money overnight. You make it a conscious decision to know that this is not, it's a long-term thing. It's not a short-term thing. You need to actually work on this. So the way that I would recommend that you do it right now is that you just go around Amazon, have some kind of extension to look at the sales data, because you need to have some way of looking at the sales data that tells you if a product's selling or not, right? If you guys don't want to make a commitment and buy something like that I use, like Jungle Scout, you can buy something that's free. It's called Unicorn Smasher. It's basically a rip-off of this, but it's not as accurate. So sometimes it won't give you the accurate sales, but that doesn't matter. You guys are just trying to play around with it. So I definitely recommend you to download Unicorn Smasher and Keepa. This will also tell you if any prices change, which is a big thing. So download Unicorn Smasher and Keepa, like I said. And just look around Amazon. Just look around the catalogs. Look at maybe some, interesting categories that you might want to sell in. Just make sure that whatever you're selling in, don't make it a main category. Make it a subcategory, because subcategories sell way more. They're not, saturated as fuck. That people have not been selling for years and years and years. The evergreen products, which are the ones that, they'll always sell. Generally, it's tougher to find products that'll sell like that, because you're trying to find a product. Well, the products that I try to find, they're trending. They're in a niche that's not really fully developed yet, or maybe it's just not fully exposed, to the public. So it's growing, and as it's growing, there's not enough competition that's, dominating that niche. So if I jump in and I make a brand, 2 months, 3 months down the road, I'm going to be way ahead of anyone else, and I'm going to have an established brand, and I'm going to be stealing all the sales practically, right? So just look around Amazon, guys. Just look at products. And, just play with the Unicorn Smasher extension. That's all I can say. And just see what the numbers are. See what you want to play with. So whenever you're looking at a product, right, the number one thing, let me back out of here. The number one thing, if you're using Unicorn Smasher, this is what it looks like, right? It's not the most accurate, like I said, but just look at the numbers, right? So you can see they're Oral-B, so you don't want to be looking at big competition. So let's get out of here, actually. If you're going in if you're trying to look at a product that's well established by a really high-end brand like Oral-B, like we've heard of that for it's pretty established brand. If you're looking at those kind of brands, you're not wanting to jump in that niche because they're pretty much dominating already. We want to find a niche that's not fully dominated like that, right? So he's got 1,000 reviews, 2,000, almost 6,000 right here. It's just, that's way too competitive. We don't want to jump into that. So the process is going through every category and just looking. So you're playing the long game because you don't have any kind of software. So you're going to have to just look around every category, manually typing in some kind of product name that you might think work and just seeing if it works. And if it doesn't, jump back out and keep looking, right? So just go through category through category through category. I'll tell you some great ones you need to start off with. So sports and outdoors is high demand, but it's also high competition. So just know that. Clothing, I never go for clothing. It's just not the best to pick. No one wants to buy a really cheap brand. Since we're buying generic products, we don't want to be selling cheap clothing, because this is what people wear, right? So no one wants to do that. Toys, kids, and babies, that's a great category. It's very, very high demand. I definitely recommend you do that, because that's how a lot of people start out. Beauty and health is a gated category, which means you any normal person cannot sell into this unless they get some kind of permission. It's not too hard to get into these gated categories though, so don't worry about that. I know how to do it. It's pretty easy. You just either pay for it or you ask somebody to get into it and fill out a little application. So never restaurants, food, or grocery, obviously. We're going to do home and garden tools. I like going to kitchen and dining. That's a great category. I don't really go for furniture much. I go for maybe home improvement. Arts and crafts. A lot of old people love this shit. It sells like crazy. Fine art, garden, outdoor, stuff like that. Appliances, maybe. Sometimes with the babies, there's like baby gates and stuff that sell like crazy too. Just looking at that. And never go for books and audibles. Never go for movies, music, and games. Never go for electronics. Electronics can break. We don't want any kind of faulty products that can malfunction, which will give us negative reviews, and it'll give us returns, which will lose us money in the end. So we don't want to do that. And yeah, just go through category, hit that extension, right? Just look at the numbers. Is it good? Is it not? So for the criteria of what I'm looking for and what you should look for, that will let you know that's a banger niche to jump into and it'll be profitable, is if the estimated sales, let's say the first 10 listings, right? This is the first 10 listings. So, right, all the way down here. The first 10 listings need to add up to at least, in my recommendation, probably like 3,000 sales. I want to see every single person consistently selling more than 300 sales. The reason why is because I've gotten to the point where I want to sell at least 10 units a day. So 300 divided by 30 days is obviously, 10 sales in a day. And I want to sell more than that because, it's not satisfying to me anymore. After I've been in this for a little bit, it's not satisfying to me to make 4 sales in a day. It's not. So, especially when you have a, maybe $10 profit, I'd rather make $100 a day than 30 or 40. It's just not fun to me. So, like I said, 300 sales, that lets you know that product is in demand. It's selling like crazy, but it's not too competitive. Because if there's a lot of 300 sales, generally that means it's selling pretty well and it's not too competitive. But a way to make sure it's not too competitive is by looking at reviews. So this is how you gauge the competition, right? So this guy's making 100 sales and he's got 4 reviews. Let me make sure that's actually legit because it's kind of inaccurate. Yeah, so as you can see right here, it was just saying he was making 100 sales, and now it's saying he's making less than 5. So that's proof right there that this is not accurate. It's just not the best extension, but you're not paying for it, so it is a free product. You have to kind of expect that. But yeah, so basically on sales, we're looking for 300 per unit, like I said. Anything below that, that's not a high product. We want to see consistency. So as you can see, it's 5, 25, 113, 449, back to 5, 21. That's not consistent. We want consistent numbers. That way it guarantees and promises us it gives us a safety net that we're going to get into a niche that will be able to sell a lot of units. And if you see other people that are selling, products for 300 sales a month or more, and they have maybe 20, 30 reviews, that's an even bigger indicator that you should jump into that product. Because if somebody can do it, and their products maybe half their product page, their listing, which is how you market it, your page, this part right here. If their product listing is not even that good and they're selling 300 sales and they got maybe 20 reviews, you can definitely compete with that. You can definitely steal all the sales away from that product. I guarantee it. So it doesn't take a genius to do this. You just got to make something look presentable. It's like as if you're making a presentation, for your teacher in class. It's not that big of a deal. It's seriously super simple. Get high quality images like this, right? Super high quality. Show somebody using the product. Get the customer to think about them using the product itself. Give it a little incentive for them to buy it. Give information, quality, value in the product itself, in the listing. Make sure you don't use that kind of sentence. People don't really need to see that. Don't need to have 1-year warranty. This is kind of a very basic key bulletin points. So I have 100% confidence I could do way better than this guy did with his key product descriptions. Let's see how he does with he did the product description pretty well, but the key bulletin points, which is what most people see first, except for the fact that there's a lot of mobile users and they'll see this first. So mobile users see this first, the product description, and a lot of people forget about this, so they don't do really well on their product description. You should focus on both of these. They're both just equally as strong in getting sales. Mobile users see this first when they're looking through products, so this is probably the most important for mobile users. And there's a lot of people buying products on Amazon that are on the mobile. So it's pretty straightforward. Just analyze your competition. Make sure that it's, not the most competitive niche. It's also, there's a lot of products that are selling really well with really garbage listings. And then that lets you know that you can jump in there and make a killing, off of them, right? There's a momentum behind that product, and if you can jump in there and make a better listing than everyone else, you're gonna look like a better brand. And it's just simple as that. So I don't like how this guy didn't incorporate his brand into his listing. That would make people buying this product kind of more established with the product itself. It just makes it look less professional if there's no brand name. So he just has a generic name, travel duffel bag, and the reason why he's doing that is because he's trying to rank for this keyword. So he's got a very generic, broad keywords to rank for. But in that respect, he's actually kind of bringing himself down in terms of looking like a credible seller, because the more professional you look as a seller, the better you will sell 100%. That's why I tell people to make custom packaging designs, change up their product in the manufacturing stage, stuff like that. That's what makes you really stand out as a competitor. So I just recommend you do that. But let's get to the second step. Sorry if I ramble a little bit. So what makes a great product that makes at least 5,000 a month? Like I've told you guys, 300 sales at least each product. Reviews, you want to have maybe anywhere from, this is from individual sellers, right? You don't want to have anyone above 500, 400, right? So when you're looking at the first page, no one's like 1,000 reviews. No one has 2,000 reviews. If there's anyone with 1,000 or more reviews, you should jump out of that niche right away. That's not going to be profitable, because, it could be profitable, but it's going to be a lot harder for you to make a sale. And since you're a new beginner, you don't have the edge. So you need to have every kind of advantage you can possibly get, and that's to make sure there's not a lot of competition. So make sure you don't have a lot of competition. Like I said before, the criteria. How long does it take to get rolling? So to give you realistic numbers, if I were to put up a product and I start selling it maybe within 2 weeks, right? So the shipping takes a week. Me finding the product took a week, product research, right? As soon as I do that and I wait for the shipping to get in, from that point on, so I'd say maybe 3 weeks it takes in order to start making income, and it's pretty straightforward. Your first stage of selling the product, you're obviously still paying back all the money that you put into this product, so you're not actually making profit. But towards the end, as you prolong your profit, as you prolong the amount of money that you make in profit, you will make more money. So like I said, the first 3 weeks, you won't be making profit because, obviously you paid for shipping, you paid for the products. That could be up to $300, $400, $500 if depending on how many units you're buying. You're gonna be paying Amazon PPC, pay per click, sponsored ads. That's how I get my traffic. I recommend you guys do that 100% too. You can steal so many sales just by using sponsored ads. It's crazy. And so I'd say 3 weeks minimum. That's how long it would take for you to start actually rolling in some money. But like I said, it won't be profitable until about halfway through the first month. So purchasing the product in bulk. So this is the second stage. So once you guys have found your product, right, that's when you're ready to go. So when you find your product, let's say we're trying to find this product and we're trying to source this. So let's say we want to add this to my product line, which is, I never would do this. This is a terrible product I would pick. I would not like this. But let's just say for this video, this example, so I can show you guys how to do this. Let's say that this is our product, right? So travel duffel bag. Let's say we want to source this. So it's a banger. We want this niche. So go to Alibaba, right? And that's the next phase of this entire thing. So a lot of suppliers out there, they're trying to rip you off and they're giving you, a way higher price than what they really should be. And I'm going to give you guys the exact way to find the actual market value for your product. It's pretty straightforward. Let's get straight into it. So, obviously the website you're going to be going to is Alibaba, right? This is where wholesale suppliers are. This is where you source your product. This is at least where I source mine. There's plenty of wholesale supplier websites, but this is the main one that I use. And basically, you're just going to be typing in your keywords. So for this one, our product example will be Yoga Block. So this is a really high selling product, but it's a little bit competitive. So we're going to be looking at a Yoga Block. So this is pretty competitive, but it's really high demand. As you can see, minimum order right here. This is 1,000 pieces minimum order. So that's how many you need to actually buy in order to have a transaction with them. And so basically my number one way for finding quality suppliers is I use this little criteria right here. So hit trade assurance and hit gold supplier. So basically gold supplier tells you how long they've been selling on this platform. I don't go for anyone below 1 year because people can actually pay for that. So I go for anyone who's above 3 years. That's my kind of go-to for the gold supplier criteria. And then trade assurance is basically letting you know that you have the option to dispute if you have, you didn't get what you wanted in your deal, or you have some damaged goods, like way too many in your deal, or maybe, you just got scammed, completely scammed. This is a way to get rid of that. So there's 3 different ways you can have a payment. So you can do the payment method on this platform, Alibaba, which I don't recommend you do. You can do it through wire transfers, which I definitely don't recommend you do either, because that's the way the number one people that get scammed. The number one way that I recommend you guys do it is PayPal. So that's how I've been doing it this entire time. PayPal is the number one way. You can get your money back no matter what if you just make a dispute with PayPal. It's super easy, super simple. So I definitely recommend you guys use PayPal. There's no heartache with that they're trying to pick. Basically, so this is the price of their product. So this is very negotiable. So I don't really care about how many they need in order for me to make a purchase with them. I don't care about that. I can just negotiate with them, pretty simple. I recommend the same with you guys. Just take them down a little bit. Say that you're going to take a sample order, and then in the future you'll make a larger order. That will give them the incentive to have a good deal with you, so that way they'll buy you as a service later on in the future, because they're trying to make money just like how we are, right? So with the price, I try to make sure I get a good price for my deal. So what I do is I go to $16.88. This is a little trick that I use when I launch my products. So when I'm sourcing it, I want to take the translation, right? And I want to have this in English, and I want to have this in Chinese traditional. And I'm basically just typing in the keyword for my product. So yoga block, type that in there, and you're going to copy and paste this. And you're going to paste that into the Chinese version of Alibaba. That's what this is. And basically you're going to be looking for the same product that you're buying. So that's pretty close to it. That's 23 wands. That's different material. It looks like wood. So this looks more like cork. So that's 21. So we got 23 and 21. So let's make the average 22, right? So once we get the average market value, let's go to converter currency. Let's go to wands. So Chinese wands, if I can find them. There we go. And then US dollar. US dollar. There we go. Sorry. And then we're going to just type in 22 wands, right? And then so we get the average $3.33. That's our market value. And as you can see, they're charging us $3.20, which is pretty fair. They're actually going below it. So this is a pretty good deal, honestly. This is a great supplier. You also have some social proof over here. So transactions, like to look at that. So they're doing $2 million in revenue over the last 6 months, which is that's insane. That's really good. This is a quality supplier. They're also trying to sponsor themselves to get up here. So definitely recommend the supplier for sure. Just making sure the photo, we probably would want to prototype and get rid of this symbol and put our own logo on it. Like I said, I want to show you guys how to build a brand, not just sell random products, because that's just like a gimmick. You want to make a sustainable, long-term business, and the way to do that is to make a brand and establish an audience. So I would get rid of this little, I would contact the supplier and get rid of this symbol or whatever the fuck that is, and then put my own logo and brand on that and slap it on there, and we should be good to go. So the next step of this entire phase is contacting the supplier. So I do have a template you guys can copy and paste and put it in here. Basically, this is a really important process, because if you don't ask enough questions to these suppliers, it's like kind of going into a dealership and asking the car salesman only for the price. You're not asking for if there's been any accidents. This is for a used car, by the way. Any accidents, you're not asking for the miles on the car. You're not asking anything. It's like you're not asking for enough information, and so they can take advantage of that and just know that you don't really know what you're talking about, and then they're going to obviously raise up the market value, which is what they do all the time with Amazon FBA newbies. So just make sure you get that email template from me, or you just have some kind of email template for somebody else. Make sure it's professional. Make sure you ask the right questions. Don't just ask one shipping estimate. Ask them multiple ones. Ask if they provide custom packaging. Ask if there's any kind of differences between the amount of units in terms of price. Just make sure you're not getting scammed, and that's all I can say for that. So that's that part. That's sourcing. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to get a barcode with your shipping plan. You're going to send that to your supplier, and they're going to put on every package and every unit. So once you guys do that, all right guys, so once you guys are done with that, you guys are going to be launching your product on Amazon. Like I said, you'll get a notification from Amazon once you have your product sent to the fulfillment centers. They'll say basically your product is live, and that's when you're good to go. From that point on, this is where you're going to be launching your product. So my recommendation is that you guys start paying for Amazon sponsored ads. This is how I get my traffic, and I don't recommend you do it the organic way. A lot of people do it. If you are okay with doing that, that's fine. But the way that I get traffic is I do sponsored ads. That's how I get most of my traffic. You can rank for rank one, page one of a keyword that you want to type in. And once you do that, you're basically going to be stealing all the sales away from that product on the first page, which is where most of the customers are. So that's my recommendation. A lot of people like to give away coupons and have these strategies to where they raise their ranking so that the momentum comes behind their product, and then they just sell from that point on behind that momentum. A lot of people do that. I've tried it before. My best strategy that I use, I don't really do the strategy of giving out coupons, even though I'm kind of missing out on my own opportunity, because I do know that does help rank your product. And if you're in a really competitive product, let's say there's like a lot of people organically ranking really high, it's really hard to actually get to page 1 if you don't have some kind of momentum behind you in sales. But what I do is I just basically just rank for those keywords with sponsored ads, page 1, and then I'm paying a little bit for my clicks. I get some sales from page 1, and then I get a lot of momentum from that there. And then let's say my momentum gets really sped up and I get to page 1 organically, then I kind of take off the sponsored ads. But I like keeping on sponsored ads because it's always just a safety net for having a lot of sales. I want to make a lot of sales every day, so that's just my best recommendation. Just have sponsored ads, pump that shit out. Rank for the highest keywords, look for search volume. The way you can do that is just going on Google Key AdWord Planner. That's how you can find the words that have the highest search volume, and just rank for those keywords. Straightforward, right? Pay for those clicks. It's maybe like $1.50 to $1 per click. Maybe not all of them will convert, but the more that you make your listing more credible and more professional, the more sales you're going to be making in the end. So that's why I tell you guys from the very beginning, prototype your product, make it look really professional. That's how you're going to be making a killing off of Amazon. So best way to gain sales fast, like I said, a lot of people have this strategy where they give out coupons away with JumpSend or whatever platform they use. I personally don't do that anymore. What I do is I just do sponsored ads. That's all I do. So I make a killing doing that. I don't really recommend you. I don't have to do anything past that. So how do you rank on page 1? Like I said, you rank for keywords that people are typing in. So let's say I'm selling a garlic press. Let's say one of the highest search volume keywords on Amazon is garlic press, steel, plastic, whatever, right? Let's use that example. Obviously, that's not a high, converting keyword, but let's say that is. I would rank for that because I'm paying a lot more than what other people are paying for. So I pay for $1.50 rather than people paying for $1. And then I rank for page 1 with some strategies that I also use. So you can't just go just by paying a lot of money just to get on page 1. You also need to have your title optimized. So I tell a lot of guys that. And not a lot of people know this, is that basically when you make your title, it's super, super keyword sensitive. And this is how Amazon basically ranks your product to be if it's relevant or not, right? So it's kind of like SEO. It's same thing with YouTube. How do they make a video relevant with that product? Relevant with the keyword that you're trying to rank for. The way they do that is they look at your captions and see if you're actually speaking the words that you're trying to rank for, as well as have it in your title and have it in your description. It's the same thing as that, right? It's the same thing as all the other websites SEO. So if you have the product keywords in your title, you'll rank for them way higher. And that's how I rank my keywords to page 1, rank 1 all the time. So that's a little free advice for you guys to get you guys to page 1 and make a shitload of sales. So that's what I do all the time. That's my little strategy. Optimization stage, that's pretty much all there is to it. Once you have your listing and you're making sales, it's pretty much smooth sailing. So you're gonna have sales coming in, maybe 3 or 4 every day, depending on how slow you're starting out. You'll have sales for sure, but you won't be, you might not be having 10 sales a day, right? From this point on, you're going to be just optimizing your page and make sure whatever is converting, and you keep it converting. And so basically you just raise your sales from that point on. Whatever makes your sales greater, whether that's changing your product images, maybe you don't have, professional enough product images, you go to Fiverr and you get, that professionally done. Let's say your description's not killing it, you kill that as well. Basically, you just optimize the shit out of your page until you find what works best, and that's just what I do, and that's where I raise my sales to the greatest I can possibly can. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. The passive income from this is insane. It's super simple. It's super easy. I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's nothing is get rich quick, right? You can't have that mindset. You do have to put work into this. It is a business. It is an online actual business. But like I said, in terms of making money online, to me personally, this is probably the easiest way to make money online, and a lot of it. Whatever I put into there, I basically get twice back. It's pretty straightforward. Maybe sometimes I find a duddy product that doesn't sell as well as I thought it would. And in those cases, the worst case scenario, I just make my money back by selling it on, eBay, or I just, lower my price and just sell it crazy on whatever listing I'm trying to rank for. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. This is probably the best way to make money online. I highly recommend you guys get started. If you have not taken action, please take action. This is the best opportunity you have to make money online. Like I said, I'm 20 years old. I'm making $10,000 a month last month in profit. So I'm making 20,000 in revenue, but I made 10,000, maybe a little bit close to 11,000 in profit. I'm 20 years old. Okay, I'm not a genius. I'm not the smartest kid on the earth. I just found something, I stuck with it, and I just learned it. Okay, so I recommend you guys just do that too. If you guys need some free informational videos on how to grow your business on Amazon FBA, that's what I focus on. So if you guys like those kind of videos and this one as well, if you found it helpful, subscribe below, hit that bell button, make sure you guys get notified every time I make a new video. Like I said, I focus mainly on growing your Amazon FBA business. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. I will answer all of them. And that's about it, guys. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one.